Hello guys, are you okay? Too cold in there? Yes, isn't it? So we are getting to the end of our bimester, but it's good because we are going to start a new material. We have the new book. It's gonna be American English File 3A. So this book will be available. I'm going to put every week the new units, the new PDF activities for you, okay? So you won't be without the material. Don't worry about that. And in our first unit, it's very interesting because we have something called mood food. Do you know what mood food means? Mood is related to the humor, and food, everybody knows. Do you think your food influences your mood? We'll be discussing that later. But to start the unit, I have some food vocabulary because it's interesting that you understand how the words are working in English. So I prepared here for you a PowerPoint presentation with fruit, vegetables, meat, and fish and seafood. Yeah? So let's start with the fish and seafood. Of course, the first word everybody has in mind, everybody thinks about is fish. That's a very simple word. Everybody knows fish. And then, of course, you may have some varieties of fish. Two very important varieties, too common for us, are tuna. Everybody knows what tuna is. The poor version, I would say, is the sardine. We have sardine and we have tuna. And we also have salmon, okay? Be careful, guys, with the pronunciation of this word. When you pronounce it, you don't say the L. So it's salmon, yeah? We have the fish, tuna, and salmon. Another kind of seafood is very common. Mussels and squid. That's something more difficult for people to enjoy. For example, I personally, I don't like mussels, but I have already eaten squid, you know? Mussels and squid. Can you identify by the picture? Squid, especially when you go to those Oriental, Japanese, Chinese restaurant, it's common for people to serve squid. You can have fried squid, you can have boiled. We'll be talking about the ways of preparing later. So mussels and squid. Another kind of seafood that we have in English is that shrimps. I'm sure that most of you love shrimps. I really like shrimps. And just curiosity for you guys, we have this word here. I'm going to write prawns. Have you ever heard the word prawns? Actually, prawns are the same as shrimps, but what's the difference? Prawns are British, shrimps are American. The word is the same, but you have just this difference, so be careful not to confuse. Later in our future class, we'll have a listening activity with a British chef, and he's going to say prawns, not fish. Yeah? Then we have lobster. Okay, here my camera cut a little, but you have an R. Lobster. Lobster, that very fancy and luxurious kind of seafood. And we have crab. Have you ever eaten crab? Crab is a little difficult to eat, isn't it? You have to break it. You have a little difficulty to eat, but it's very good. I've already tried. So fish and seafood, these are the most important words. Let's move to meat. I'm sure most of you love meat, except the ones that are vegetarians. The most common kind of meat is the beef. Okay, so beef is like that. Of course, you may ask you, but what about steak? Steak is the piece of beef. You can have a steak as well. Also, take care to pronounce the word correctly. Yeah, steak. I've already seen people saying stick, like stick de frango. No, it's not stick. The word is steak. All right? We also have chicken. Chicken is a very common, very normal way and kind of meat. And we have pork. Don't confuse the meat, which is pork, with the animal, that's pig. Right, guys? So pork is the meat, pig is the animal. Be careful with this difference. Another kind of meat we have is lamb. Don't pronounce the B. And you know what lamb is? Lamb is the meat that comes from the sheep. And what is the sheep? Oops, sheep. Sheep is that animal that makes nice, isn't it? So sheep is the animal, lamb is the meat. And we have duck, of course. Everybody knows the cartoon, Donald Duck, Pato Donald. Duck is the animal and duck is the meat. That's very typical in Portugal. I personally ate duck the first time when I went to Portugal for the first time. It's really good. It's very nice. Here in Brazil, it's not very common to find, but if you have the opportunity, try it. So meat was okay. Now let's go to the easy one because most people know about fruit. First of all, I chose 3 kinds of fruit that are related to the berries. We have strawberry, we have cherry, and we have raspberry. Yes? By the pictures, I'm sure it's easy to identify. Strawberry, cherry, and raspberry. We also have grapes. Everybody knows what grapes are, yeah? And we have mango. Do you like mango? I don't. I can't stand the taste, the smell, the juice, anything related to mango. But many people like it. Other kind of fruit we have. 2 different fruit here, peach and pear, okay? Don't confuse, guys. Peach, pear. Pear, the pronunciation is like that. Yes? And we also have melon and watermelon. This is curious, yeah? You have some melon with a lot of water. So it becomes watermelon, yeah? I love melon. I love watermelon. No problems with fruit? Let's start the vegetables. When you talk about vegetables, I have here cabbage. Cabbage is very nice to put in the soup or just the salad. Cucumber. Careful with the pronunciation, guys. Cucumber. I love cucumber. And lettuce. I like lettuce too. Or if you are very American, you may listen lettuce. Okay? Lettuce is also a good kind of vegetable. Another vegetables we have are green beans and zucchini. And did you notice here I put 2 words because zucchini is the American way of saying the vegetable. Courgette is the British way. Did you identify this vegetable? In Portuguese, it would be like abobrinha, okay? Zucchini or courgette. Another word that has a difference between British and American is the eggplant. Yes? Eggplant in British, it's cut here by my camera, but I'm going to write. Eggplant is like aubergine. Have you ever heard aubergine? So aubergine is British, eggplant is American. And here we have beet, another kind of vegetable, very common. So you could see some different vegetables. To start, I have here red pepper and tomatoes. Of course, guys, red pepper here is because I'm talking about the red one. But you may have the green pepper and you may have the yellow pepper, okay? And tomatoes, of course. Many people say, teacher, but tomato is not a vegetable. Tomato is fruit. Okay, we understand that tomato is a fruit. But in English, they might be considered in the category of vegetables as well. No problems so far? So vegetables, fruit, meat, and seafood. When you have ways of cooking, we need to know some special words because they'll be important to prepare those food. So the first word I put here is boiled. What is boiled? You cook in hot water. You have two examples here. You have the vegetables that are boiled, and you have the boiled eggs. That's nice. Very good. I love it. Another way of preparing food is grilled. Grilled is simple, yeah, because you have in the grill, you have like barbecue. You have grilled fish, for example, or you have grilled hamburger, grilled meat in general. The third way of preparing I put here is fried, the most delicious one. We have fried eggs, we have fried chicken, but we also may have simply French fries, right? Because the potatoes are fried. Then we have steamed. You know what steamed is, guys? When the food is cooked just in vapor. Vegetables are a good example of that. Steamed vegetables. Finally, we have roasted and baked. Be careful with the difference. When you talk about roasted, you can have basically roast meat, roast chicken, roast beef. When you talk about baked, you may have baked potatoes, you may have baked cake, you may bake bread. Okay, so that's a little different to see ways of cooking and the food we had. No doubts? No problems? Guys, there will be two exercises for you there in the platform. The vocabulary bank on page 152 and the workbook activities on page 4. Don't worry because these pages will be available for you as PDF extensions there and you can open and print and do the activities. No problems? That's it, guys. Have fun. You might be hungry now after all this vocabulary, yeah? See you. Bye-bye.